In this Cyberpunk 2077 build guide, I'm going to be showing you my Neural Netrunner build that uses Quickhacks and Cyberware to turn the tide of battle and often make challenging scenarios into much easier ones. If you've been wondering how to hack enemies and make a mage-type character for all intents and purposes, then this is the build for you. The Neural Netrunner build is a ranged build that uses Quickhacks, Daemons, and your Cyberdeck to weaken enemies or outright kill them. Quickhacks and Daemons are not explained very well at all during the tutorial of Cyberpunk 2077, so here I will also provide an explanation of these mechanics so that you understand how these work. What's really great about the Neural Netrunner build is that if set up properly, it usually has something for every situation, often making the game markedly easier. Additionally, you can swap and change Quickhacks outside of combat, so if you know what you'll be facing, you can tailor these specifically to that situation. Daemons allow you to hack the network of the area you're in, often debuffing entire groups of enemies or causing site-wide outages. The one you begin the game with is called Ice Pick, which reduces your Quickhack cost by 1, but you will gain others as well. In order to gain the benefit of this demon, you'll need to initiate Breach Protocol and complete the puzzle that appears on the screen. The way this is done is by matching the numbers in straight lines, and if you do it correctly, you can even gain the benefit of more than one demon at once. You'll get the hang of it rather quickly, and using Breach Protocol should be the first thing you do before every combat. Note that as you increase the buffer size on your Cyberdeck, you'll be able to do this more easily and enter more demons when you use Breach Protocol. Quickhacks in Cyberpunk 2077 act as a kind of ability that can be loaded onto your Cyberdeck, which is a piece of equipment. All Cyberdecks are different, and some allow you to slot more Quickhacks into them, some give you special bonuses, and some have more RAM. Legendary Cyberdecks, for example, might have all three of these things. Quickhacks can be crafted, purchased, or looted, and they have different rarities just like other equipment in the game. The higher the rarity, the better version of the Quickhack, usually improving or adding effects to it. For instance, the uncommon version of Overheat deals damage over time, but the rare version of Overheat also makes it so the target cannot function during this time either. When in combat, RAM is the resource consumed to use Quickhacks, and the amount needed to cast each Quickhack is listed on it. However, this amount can be affected by perks and demons, as well as the difficulty of the enemy you're facing. Lower difficulty enemies use less RAM, and higher difficulty enemies use more. By taking perks that replenish RAM, you're able to cast these Quickhacks repeatedly in combat, allowing you to take control of the battlefield or even kill enemies without firing a single shot. This type of playstyle would be considered similar to a mage in typical fantasy RPGs. The only attribute you really need to be a Netrunner is intelligence, since the vast majority of perks that affect Quickhacks lie inside this attribute. Additionally, it passively increases your RAM as well as your Quickhacks damage and duration. Essentially, if you want to be a Netrunner, you'll pump this to max about as quickly as you can. With that said, you'll have more attribute points and you likely won't be able to play only using Quickhacks. This is especially true on higher difficulties, so you should focus on one other perk tree that revolves around a weapon, ideally a ranged one, since you can use Quickhacks from range. Then pump Reflexes, which likely contains that perk tree, in order to unlock better and better perks there. Extra points should go into Body for survival. Your attribute spread should look something like this eventually. The priority here is intelligence, because you won't be able to use Quickhacks with any regularity without significant perk investment. Reducing the cost and increasing the speed you regain RAM are extremely important. Reflexes will then be increased as you look to take perks to increase your weapon's effectiveness. Once that's done, you'll increase Body for more survivability. In this section, we'll take a look at what perks you should acquire in order to get the best performance from this build. Intelligence is our top priority because it contains quick hacking, so we'll begin there. Breach Protocol is also listed under Intelligence, but it requires much less investment, so it's not quite as important. Quick hacking perks. Biosynergy. This perk allows you to regain RAM during combat over time, which allows you to use many more Quickhacks. It's hard to play a Netrunner without a way to replenish RAM, so you definitely want to max this one out. Bloodwearer. This extremely simple perk just increases the damage of your Quickhacks. You want them to kill enemies ideally, so you'll max this one out as well to help make that happen. Forget-Me-Not. This perk returns 1 RAM if you kill a target that is affected by a Quickhack. This should ideally be every target you kill, so this is an easy choice. Signal Support. This perk increases the duration of your Quickhacks, allowing them to damage or debuff targets longer. This will help you kill enemies and also make good use of Forget-Me-Not. Subliminal Message. This perk drastically increases the damage of Quickhacks used on unsuspecting targets. This should allow you to kill your first target rather easily, so we take it. Mnemonic. This perk reduces the cost to use a second Quickhack against a target if it's still affected by the first. This comes in handy against hard-to-kill enemies where you need to double-stack Quickhacks in order to get the job done. Critical Error. This perk allows your Quickhacks to deal critical damage, which will be a huge boost to DPS. Make sure to focus on crit chance and crit damage in order to make the best use of this perk. Anamnesis. This perk prevents your RAM from ever going below 2, meaning that you'll be able to use Quickhacks much more often since you won't have to replenish as much before using them again. Max this one out. Optimization. This perk reduces the cost of all Quickhacks by 1 RAM, allowing you to use them more easily and often. Take it as soon as you can. Master RAM Liberator. This perk increases the speed at which you recover RAM by a lot, so you want to take it when you get to 20 intelligence. Breach Protocol perks. Mass Vulnerability. This perk allows you to debuff all enemies in the area by reducing their physical damage resistance for several minutes. This is a good opening demon to use and it will increase all future physical damage. Mass Vulnerability Resistances. This perk enhances mass vulnerability to affect all damage types, not just physical, so it's worth picking up. Turret Tamer. This demon allows you to convert all turrets in the area to friendly for several minutes. This can make some extremely challenging areas an absolute breeze. Total Recall. This further boosts the Ice Pick demon by reducing the cost of quick hacks by an additional 1 RAM. This is a no-brainer. Totaler Recall. This perk does the same thing as Total Recall, reducing your RAM cost by an additional 1 for quick hacks. If you want to spam these, then you'll want both of these. Cloud Cache. This perk reduces the cost of your next quick hack by 1 RAM multiplied by the number of demons you successfully uploaded. The better you get, the more savings you earn. Mass Vulnerability Quick Hacks. This perk will make it so that all enemies in the area also take more damage from your quick hacks when affected by Mass Vulnerability Demon. You'll be using this a lot, so definitely take this one. Head Start. This perk automatically uploads 1 demon when you initiate Breach Protocol, making it easier for you to activate many at the same time. You'll definitely want this one. Buffer Optimization. This perk increases the duration of all demon effects by 100%, which is a huge increase. Since this only costs 1 perk point, it's easily worth taking even if you don't need it all the time. These aren't all the perks you could take, but it will be a good amount. Any other perk points you should have should go into the weapon perk tree to help improve your damage with your preferred gun type. In this section, we'll take a look at what equipment is needed to play the Neural Netrunner build. We'll begin with weapons first, though it is less important for this build than just about any other build you play. The weapon you choose is not super important because you'll be focusing primarily on quick hacks, but you will need something to deal damage. I don't recommend melee weapons because you'll be squishy, and you can use quick hacks at range. Play around with the different weapons and see what feels good to you. Don't be afraid to change it up, since you don't need to stick to one weapon type. Armor-wise, you want to look for bonuses to crit chance or crit damage once you've gained the Critical Error perk. Having more armor is of course better, and if you're playing on very hard, you might want to prioritize more armor. Since these bonuses are randomized as well, you'll just have to keep an eye out. The important part of your cyberware for this build is of course your Cyberdeck, which will allow you to slot more quick hacks as well as use more of them before needing to replenish RAM. Look to upgrade this to the best you can find or afford every chance you get, because it will make all the difference to this build. Final tips. Always lead with Breach Protocol when beginning combat in order to debuff your enemies and increase your damage against them. This will not break stealth, so you can just do it really quickly and then get into position. Then pick your target and use your quick hacks to debuff or kill it and begin combat. It's a good idea to have at least one low-cost quick hack loaded onto your Cyberdeck early on so that you can still use one even when you have very little RAM. Making an enemy's weapon jam, for instance, can allow you to just run up to them and unload point blank. There are several good options here. Some quick hacks work better against human enemies and others work best against robots. It's good to have at least one quick hack of each type so that you can deal the most damage possible. Look through them and make sure you set this up when you have enough slots on your Cyberdeck. Lastly, take your time when using Breach Protocol and try to activate as many demons as you can at once. The timer doesn't begin until your first click, so think ahead before you do and then move quickly. Getting this down can really increase the performance of this build. Stay tuned for more Cyberpunk 2077 build guides and be sure to drop by the Cyberpunk 2077 wiki for all your Night City needs. Or you can drop by our Twitch channel and say hi as we stream the game over the next couple of weeks. And make sure to check out our videos on our early impressions and character creation with our review coming soon.